Good morning. It's day 2 of ASUG Annual Conference in Sapphire. We're live in Orlando, and I'm Courtney Bjorlin, the editor on asugnews.com. I'm thrilled to be joined by 2 members of SAP's Cloud team. I'm here today with Gunter Smalzaf and Jacqueline Vanasek. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you, Courtney.
Could you tell us a little bit about your roles at SAP?
I'm the evangelist and Vice President for Virtualization and Cloud, the Cloud Management Program at SAP. And so my responsibility is both inside and outside SAP to promote awareness and drive adoption of the commercial technologies we are building for customers for use inside SAP, as well as to build awareness and visibility for the program and the emerging portfolio we will be offering customers in the short term.
I love that term, Cloud Angelist. That's great. What a great title. And Gunter?
Yeah, I'm a solution manager in SAP responsible for virtualization and cloud. And I'm in SAP since about 7 years. Before that, I have worked at a technology partner. And from my heritage here, I'm quite technical. My role today is very much related to rolling our information out to customers and partners. What is new? What is the technology behind? And rolling information in. What new requirements do we have to work on to help our customers to somehow save costs and get more flexibility?
Very interesting.
Yeah.
So let's start with a relatively easy one here. Public versus private cloud. Can you define it for us?
Good question. Yeah. This is the interesting thing is that cloud topic is now a big discussion at our customers. Also, when you read in the press, that's an important thing. The difference between private and public is private. That's what customers do already. So with the use of virtualization, using automation, using standardization, using also accounting models, which customers do already in their internal data center, they do private cloud already. So many customers prove that SAP runs on virtualization solutions in their private cloud, in their data center. The public cloud, on the other side, is outside the customer's firewall. And this is something which starts to evolving. We get a lot of interest from customers since they want to use public cloud offerings to run their SAP solutions there.
And to add to that, some of the other distinctions that we see regarding private cloud versus public cloud is in the private cloud setting, customers typically have the ability in their virtual infrastructure to self-serve infrastructure in a pay-per-use model. And those are probably some of the two primary distinctions between what a cloud-based model is for a shared services environment with respect to the traditional hosting model with which many customers are already familiar. From a public cloud perspective, we are now talking about a similar kind of model. However, it is outside the customer's firewall. And there is an interesting hybrid kind of model called the virtual private cloud, for which the data center infrastructure sits in a public cloud setting, but with regard to the network security, it remains inside the network of the private enterprise.
That is very interesting. You heard it here first, folks, the virtual private cloud. That is the next big thing. So as far as customers' deployments right now, what are you seeing in terms of the private cloud, pay-for-service model? Are people testing there? Do they have production instances there? What does it look like?
Yeah, that's a good point. That's what I mentioned. We see customer using private cloud technologies, private cloud concepts, infrastructure concepts since years. So in the beginning it was just somehow trying out with test and development systems virtualization, and with adding automation, with adding concepts which help customers to build accounting models in their data center, they move into that private cloud concept. And that's what I said. Customers do that a lot. Even SAP internally, we have self-service models where our developers can easily deploy SAP development systems and just use it for 2 days and somehow give then the capacity back into the pool. Such kind of models are possible with private cloud, and customers doing it quite a lot already.
And the public cloud, what are you seeing there? Anything?
that's a good point. Let me also maybe add a usage model or how customer use that. In the private cloud, customer use since years virtualization run their productive systems. More and more we see customer adopting that, and quite big systems running on virtual landscapes in their private cloud. In the public cloud, customer are somehow starting to think about, I want to use that for test system or for trial system. SAP internally, we use that, for example, to provide customers on a very short notice with trial systems. Since within hours, a customer can deploy in the public cloud a system where the customer then can do tests, can get hands-on. This is used SAP internally already, and customers are asking for those models also.
That's very interesting. And Jacqueline, where do you think we'll be in the next 5 years here?
What we're seeing from customers is really across quite a range. There's quite a range that exists in terms of the level of understanding regarding virtualization and cloud. And so we are seeing small customers looking to basically wholly offload their infrastructure costs by accessing public cloud because they potentially cannot afford to have their own data centers and infrastructure in-house. And we see large customers looking to have some kind of a mix. So it is our expectation over the next 5 years that where the industry is going to go is in the evolution of the hybrid cloud model. And the picture that we see and the vision that we'd like to paint for our customers regarding what we are working on at SAP and where we would like to take the customer is when we consider a large enterprise customer to have the ability, for example, to enable the creation and management of a private cloud inside an enterprise, to do innovation, to drive standards within a very large enterprise, to accelerate the deployment of those standards and the ability to consume new SAP capability to deliver on the business vision, to deliver that from corporate, and then to have the ability to leverage public and private cloud resources, virtual content, the ability to transport virtual content between sites so that enterprises can co-innovate with their business partners differently. They can work more effectively with their subsidiaries, drive and simplify the integration between the subsidiary and the large enterprise, and extend their capacity at lower cost to the public cloud to support their overall infrastructure needs. And that is what we are hearing. We are hearing all different pieces of that picture, and the vision that we have from the Virtualization and Cloud Management program at SAP intends to deliver as much as we can to fulfill that.
That's really interesting. So let's close out by talking about how customers are going to manage all of this. Can you talk to us a little bit about what used to be called the Adaptive Computing Controller and some of the tools that they're going to use to manage this?
Yeah, a very good question. Yeah, since this is also a request from customer, how can I manage this somehow added complexity in the underlying infrastructure? We had since years the Adaptive Computing Controller, and we got more and more requests from customer asking for how do I manage now that new upcoming technology with public clouds. And SAP decided a year ago, actually last Sapphire, it was announced that Virtualization and Cloud program, Jacqueline mentioned already, where we focus very much on helping customer deploy and manage the currently existing SAP applications in virtualization, private clouds, and public clouds. So this is our focus. So we do not want to somehow look very much in the future. Our program is focusing helping customers today with the tools we provide. So the new tool we are talking about is the SAP Landscape Management software.
Okay.
And we try to achieve with the landscape management software and with the features we are currently working on, that looks very good. Customer loved it. We want to help customer reduce costs and increase the flexibility. For example, features like a framework for system copy, which is a big discussion since years in customer side, or system cloning, or capacity management. And the important thing is we do not want to somehow compete with existing infrastructure management solutions, which just lift up the management capability from the operating system or from the infrastructure up into the SAP world to help SAP customers. So we address the SAP use cases in the data center and interface underneath what is needed. Maybe, Jacqueline, you want to add something to the content?
The management.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So the other two pillars of our program, besides the management capability, also include content, which would be the SAP applications, the configuration of the applications, including the data, for which we are working on a solution to provide virtual templates or virtual content that can be transported within a cloud, between clouds, that kind of thing.
That's very interesting.
To accelerate. The other thing I'll just briefly touch on is the services portfolio. So the third pillar of our program is to deliver end-to-end services. We have a comprehensive, very elegant services portfolio that will help a customer develop a business case for what is cloud, how can I leverage cloud, should I invest in cloud, how should I source cloud technologies, public, private, some intermediate hybrid model. And then how can I evolve my current infrastructure into the virtual environment and actually build the roadmap for how I take my organization forward, and then partner with SAP Services hand in hand to go through the entire process. And we have the ability to support customers who don't know where to start regarding cloud, all the way to the end of the continuum, which would be customers who are quite advanced. And we welcome the opportunity to work with all customers looking to leverage the technologies.
That's fantastic. Thank you so much for your insight. This was a fantastic interview. Coming up next, we'll speak with Art Worcester and Michael Doan about improving SAP usability. Please stay tuned. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.